Okay, so today we're going to talk about a demo for using Perl to size fields that are displayed. You'll notice I'm introducing a couple of things here. One is this module called Get Option Standard. This will let us pick things that we would like to look at. Files get assigned a letter, and then we can have a variable there. And notice it always uses this format when it's using a particular letter. So therefore, here in this scenario, host file will be opened using a file handle of fd1. In this particular exercise, we're going to look at some data that looks really ugly. So I picked a bit of ugly data. We all have access to ugly data, and it looks like that. For some of you this will be familiar, for some of you it won't, but what we're going to do is do some lineup exercises on this particular area. So right in here you'll see, actually I can point this out a little better. Right in here you will see that the S's are not lined up, and it would be good to see that when you're trying to look at the data. Again, this is a trivial example, but this would be something you might like to see on your data at some point. So a sample data bit of text is included here, abbreviated here, but it's essentially what you're getting. Line 1, I'm going to break out the data and show the areas we're going to be grabbing for size. So there's a ACL, which is constant in every string, in every line. This is an attempt to go after the S in the middle and capture that. Notice your data has an S and a slash and a quote there. So the delimiter is there and the delimiter is there so that you can pick up these characters in the string. Now when we do this, we're going to split this line into a couple of strings. So the first string I'm going to call A underbar expand, expd, and then the last one is called end data. We don't care about this. We do want it available, but we're not going to work on it at all. So in the raw form, to see what I'm doing here, we're just going to run it with these arguments, and it won't do anything to the strings. So when you see this, we're just going to start it out like this. So let's go over here, and we will start the thing running like that, and it gives me indeed my raw data. And now we want to come back in, and we would like to begin to work on that data. So we're going to first do that, and we're looking at taking the original string, and we're going to add some characters to the end of it. What we haven't surmised here is the length of that first string, and of course as you go see this demo and as you see the data, the length of it is indeed down here. It's about 76, 78 characters. So the first item that we do, we'll do a save here and we'll run it. It will not give us the desired effect. It'll just simply reproduce the data. The place where this particular routine begins to shine is if you take this data and you come out here and you give it 80. Since that's a length a little bit longer than the data involved, I'm going to save this file and I'm going to go do that again, and you'll see the difference. So there you have the data separated out. Obviously on a DOS screen I've got some wrap going on so that this line right here is wrapped into here. But were you to have this in a flat file on a larger screen, you would see immediately, and then it becomes more apparent what you need. You could then begin to parse this data differently all the way through so that you can have the columns you needed. Sometimes in this kind of data you may say, well, I'm going to not want to present certain lines, and so you could look at the data and say any line with that string I don't want to present. So there's various things we'll be doing in future demos that will explain how to eliminate lines from output so that you can get just the data you want in order to do your analysis. These are difficult things to look at, and so sometimes they mean nothing to you, but you can at least see that you can format your data in a straight line so that things become more apparent. So the nature of your data is important to you, and you would be able to see how to manipulate that a little bit better. So here we've done that, and we've actually included in our output these items. If you notice, I'm going to do a duplicate here, and I'm going to comment out this line, and you'll notice that if I chose to not add those in, that would actually somewhat distort the picture of the original data. Although if you knew your data, you would see exactly what you had. So in that picture, you get this kind of presentation without the other things that are there as parts of that command line. That concludes this video. I would like to ask you to subscribe if you're finding this useful. I will be adding videos to the process. It's my intent to do a thorough teaching of Perl and how you can do data and text manipulation, because it's a very capable language. It's also probable that I will begin to mix other languages so that you can see the comparables. Thank you.